Amy said, it's been a very difficult time over the last term. The Jewish world has been, in many ways, challenged. The Jewish people are collectively suffering a trauma which will take months, years to overcome. And I'm going to do something which I've never done before, but I hope people will excuse me because I think it's appropriate at this moment. And I want to differentiate between Jewish members of staff and non-Jewish members of staff and say the following. One of the huge challenges at this time for the Jewish people is a feeling that we are bereft. That we are bereft of friends and supporters and people who will speak up. There's a lot of people apparently in the world who are morally confused and feel unable to say, yes, we identify with the suffering of the people of Israel. But that does not apply here in Mount Scopus, because we are a family. And speaking as one of the Jewish members of staff, we're a family in Israel with a son literally at this moment fighting on the front line in Gaza. We feel enveloped by the support and the love and the collegiality of all of our staff here. And we are truly blessed, because I don't think this is the case in many workplaces in Australia or around the world. But when we come to work every day, we know that we will be supported, we will be understood, we will be loved by our non-Jewish colleagues. And I want to say a huge thank you to everyone for that. On a related topic, I want to share just one particular policy of mine that I feel very passionate about, and I want to use this forum to say a word. It's actually happened before October the 7th, but many times since, that parents have said to me, if kids are going on an excursion or something, could they not wear their school uniform? Because it might be a little bit dangerous for them to be identified as Jews when they're out and about. And every time I have said no, and I have said never. Never in this school will we tell a child to hide the fact that they are Jewish. We wouldn't endanger our children. We always act on advice from the community security group or always in consultation with the Victorian police. But that means if I had ever been told by the CSG that it would be dangerous for our kids to go on an excursion in school uniform, then they wouldn't go on the excursion. And I was prepared that if we were told that it would be dangerous for our kids to come to school in school uniform, then we would have gone back to Zoom. We would never, ever tell our children to be scared of being Jewish. Our aim in this school is to raise responsible, worthwhile members of the Australian and the Jewish community. And in terms of their Jewish identity, which is such an important pillar on which this school rests, is really the raison d'etre of this school. We want our students to be engaged, we want our students to be knowledgeable, and we want our students to be proud Jews. And I am myself proud that we have stuck to that line. Other schools, for other reasons, and I don't judge, have taken a different line. But in our school, our children will be proud Jews, and the fact that they are Jewish is something they will display openly. And if other people have a problem with that, that's their problem. Our students are proud Jews. On the last day of Hanukkah, the Torah reading talks about the priests in the temple and their obligation to light the menorah of the candelabra, from which our lights of Hanukkah are derived. And the Torah uses an interesting word to describe this obligation. And it says to the high priest, "V'ha'alotecha et hanerot," which is translated as when you light the lights. But the word "v'ha'alotecha" is interesting. It represents a grammatical construction that you find in Semitic languages that you don't find in Indo-European languages like English, and it's called the causative. And literally it means when you cause the lights to go up. And the rabbis learned from this But the obligation of the priest is not just, if you like, to take a match and sort of light the light, but is to work with whatever flame they were using until the flame, the wick of the candelabrum of the menorah has been fully ignited. And when the wick is fully ablaze, then the priest can take his hand back and his job is done. That's what's meant when you cause the lights to go up. And I always believe there is no finer metaphor for the role of a teacher. As I've said many, many times from this platform and others, the work that we do is, I think, the most worthwhile job anyone can do. We help young people become adults. We help them grow and we help them learn. And we stay with them until they are ignited, until their wick has properly caught fire. And when they are ready to go out into the world, that is when we stand back. That is when our job is done. And if that applies to the job of a teacher, in a sense it applies to the job of a principal as well. It's been my privilege to help this school grow. I said when I came on my first day that my role is to make a great school even better. And I think, thanks to your help, that is what we have done. I think in many ways we have progressed as a school in terms of our professionalism, in terms of the programs that we provide, in terms of our creativity, in terms of our curriculum, in many, many ways. Thanks to you, we have made a great school even better. And I have no doubt that the process of school improvement will continue, and under Dan and the leadership team, there will be even better days to come. But for me, my work is done. The flame is lit. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and goodbye.